Welcome back to my Japanese garden. It's been a while. I've got some plants to put in today. I'm in the side garden at the moment. The bonsai, Jake's bonsai, needs a bit of a trim, so I'm going to leave him to do that. Everything else is looking lush and green. We've got ferns coming out. It's getting quite sunny here, but the sun will go in about an hour, so it will be a shady garden again. It means the solar panel for the aerator is working overtime, which is also good. And the wasabi has done really well over winter. You can see a lot of growth around there, and in there somewhere can't actually see the rhizomes themselves that make all that lovely hot peppery stuff. Elsewhere, the Photinia japonica, for those who'd seen the earlier video, I'd cut the bottom of this off, or the bottom of it in terms of leaves off, to make it more tree-like. You can see a big thick stem here, and that's certainly starting to pay dividends. It's shooting up, it's gaining height, which is what I want. So underneath I've got maples and ferns, so they get some cover from the height of that. So the side garden is looking very good. The Zen garden, well, you know, my raking skills are not good, but it is raked. Elsewhere, well, it's been a very, very wet, cold, long winter. And then the sun has come out and it's been baking hot. We've had some unusually hot days. And what that has meant that the chamomile, which usually looks like this, in some places it looks like this. And you can see, because of the clay soil and the dryness, it's just made it rock hard. So I've got a few plans. Well, one is to dig in a lot of compost, and this is what I'm going to be using. A nice peat-free compost. The other is to take cuttings. Now last year I took some cuttings to fill in the holes. What you'd usually do is, well, what you usually have is about a hole about this size, just over winter as it's starting to establish the chamomile lawn. So I took cuttings off the runners, and these are all up here on the mound. So they've done really well. So I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to take some cuttings, stick in some rooting powder, and then just let those grow on. The rest of the garden is looking good. I've removed some things from here as the plants have bushed out. There's the famous red bench, Jake's red bench. And in the corner, this is doing really well. This maple here, I was worried about it. The first year it got very dry and very papery, but it's looking lush. The wet winter has actually benefited the maples. So they're looking good, and very pleased with the flowers. The photinia needs a bit of a haircut. You can see, again, I'm trying to trim the bottom so you can see the stems underneath. Everything's been mulched, but the squirrels will come and hide the nuts here and dig the mulch up. The maple as well suffered in that last April had a lot of frost. Late frost, and it just killed the branches up here. So I've taken those back, seen how they've gone, and then I've taken some more off earlier in the year, just under there. But it's starting to get shape now. It's starting to platform out. You can start to see, hopefully, some little platforms of foliage. The Garia is going all right. It's had a bit of a problem with the dampness. It's starting to get a bit rusty, but that's doing all right. The bamboo. The reason I'm laughing is I came out here last night to look at the bamboos, and they've shot up overnight. Not a word of a lie. Look at this. It's a monster. So they were all this sort of size at the end of last year, up to about here, about there, and then it's maybe twice the thickness. These new culms have just shot up, and already, well, this has grown maybe 20 centimeters in a day or two. This has just gone bonkers, which is good. The cherry in the corner has been fantastic. I've trimmed it so it's less leggy. The Hakonikoa is just recovering to form the ring around the bottom. The fruit trees, I've got apples, and this is pears. Oops. Pears, a lot of pears. Down there, I've moved the garden furniture up there. This patio may not survive, we shall see. I've also got apples in pots, and cherries. So I've got a fruiting cherry and a flowering cherry. This border, which I put a lot of compost in, has done really well. But I need some more things in here, so I've got some new plants to put in. The climbers, one of 3 survived the winter, so I've got sweet peas to put in there, because sweet peas are pretty much bulletproof. Everything else is nice. You can hear the birds singing, probably hear the weir, the water in the background. So I've got a few things, a bit of lavender, sweet peas, and what are these one? Lobelias, because they're half price, you know, because why not? It's looking good, it's looking good. The chamomile is looking very sad, so we shall sort that out first. Dig in some compost and see how we go. It's warm. It's warm now. It's about 3 o'clock, so I've been at it for about 4 hours. The lobelias are in, sweet peas are in, the lavender is not in because I'm quite tired. I have dug all of the chamomile beds, and you can see I've just put the new compost on top, just let it sink in. For any plants that are here and put out runners, they can go straight into this nice new soil. So hopefully that'll improve the drainage and also give a chance for the new plants to bed in. It always looks a bit, I don't know, it looked a bit scary. I did this last year. When you put the soil in, it just looked black and as if there were no plants there, but give it a month or so and it'll fill out, I promise. I had to change my shirt because I was starting to get sunburned despite all the sun cream. The garden has had a good soak as well. It's doing pretty well. It's looking green and pink and red and great. And what's even better, I'm going to skip over the Zen garden. When it gets too hot, you can come into here, which is very cool and lush and green. And it has a bench. So I am going to sit here, relax for a while, and then have my lunch. Oh, thank you for joining me in the garden, watching me work and get puffed out. I hope you're enjoying your garden where you are. I think you can see. I can sit here and enjoy this. So I'll see you next time.